You know, sometimes in this country, you just wake up and the news hits you in a way that makes you stop and think, what exactly is going on in Nigeria? Now, one of those names that always stirs strong reactions, whether you love him or not, is Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. And now, he has allegedly come out to say that the reason people are not supporting him or speaking up for his release is because everybody is scared of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yes, you heard that right. Nnamdi Kanu reportedly said that many politicians, even those who once spoke boldly, have suddenly gone quiet because of fear. Fear of Tinubu's power, fear of his influence, and fear of what might happen if they stand against the current government. Now, this kind of statement is not small at all. It comes at a time when Nigerians are already talking about the state of insecurity, economic hardship, and rising cost of living. So, when someone like Kanu speaks from detention, it shakes the political space a bit. But before we go deeper, please, if you're watching right now, kindly hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps this kind of content reach more people, and you'll always get updates whenever we drop new gist like this. Now, back to the matter. Let's break it down. Nnamdi Kanu has been in DSS custody since he was brought back to Nigeria in 2021. Since then, there have been several court rulings, human rights complaints, and calls from some groups for his release. Even recently, his lawyers said that Kanu's health is not in good condition, and that he should be released unconditionally. But the federal government has maintained that his case is still ongoing and that due process must be followed. So when Kanu now reportedly said that people are afraid of Tinubu, it brings a new angle to the conversation. Because, if we think about it, under the previous administration of Buhari, we heard a lot of people, even governors, senators, and activists, openly speak about Kanu's situation. But since Tinubu came in, the voices seem to have gone quiet. Could it be that people are truly afraid to talk? Or maybe everyone is just being careful with how they speak about sensitive national issues now. Whatever the reason, one thing is clear. The political atmosphere in Nigeria today is tense. Everyone is trying to protect their interest. Some politicians who used to talk about justice for all are now silent. Civil society groups that were once loud are now focusing on other issues. But let's ask ourselves this question. Is Nnamdi Kanu right? Are people really afraid of President Tinubu? You see, Tinubu is a political strategist, we all know that. He has built alliances over decades, and now that he's in Aso Rock, it's normal for people to tread carefully. But fear? That's what Kanu is pointing at. Fear of political power, fear of being tagged anti-government, fear of losing relevance or being watched. At the same time, it could also be that Nigerians are simply tired. The hardship in the country is weighing heavily on everyone. People are struggling to survive, so activism has slowed down. Many Nigerians now just want peace, food, and stability, not political battles. But let's be honest. This kind of statement from Kanu can stir up discussions, because if people begin to think that there's fear in the land, it adds to the narrative that freedom of speech might be shrinking slowly, and that is not good for any democracy. Meanwhile, reports also say that his legal team is still pushing for his release. Some Southeast leaders have also appealed to Tinubu to show compassion and release Kanu, especially as part of peace efforts in the region. But as of now, there's no clear indication that the presidency plans to do that soon. Now, you know Nigerians, when this kind of gist drops, people have mixed opinions. Some say Kanu should be freed because keeping him locked up only makes things worse. Others say he must face the law because of his actions and the tension IPOB caused in the past. And then there are those who simply say, let's move on, as if the issue is no longer important. But that's the thing, the Nnamdi Kanu issue is more than just one man. It represents a larger conversation about justice, fairness, and how Nigeria handles its internal conflicts. So when Kanu says, everybody is scared of Tinubu, maybe he's trying to remind Nigerians that people shouldn't be silent when it comes to truth. Or maybe he's just expressing frustration from where he is, feeling abandoned by the same people who once shouted his name. But one thing I can tell you is this matter will not end here. It's like a spark in a dry bush. Once it catches attention, it spreads. We're already seeing social media buzzing again. Some groups are tagging Tinubu, saying, "Prove him wrong, release Kanu." Others are defending the president, saying, "The law must take its course." Whichever side you fall on, the truth is that this gist is deep. It touches on politics, ethnicity, security, and even freedom of expression in Nigeria. And before we continue with how this story is likely to shape the coming political conversations, please, once again, click the like button and subscribe if you haven't. It helps us grow and bring you more real talk and updates from across Nigeria. Because the way this Kanu Tinubu issue is going, it may soon connect to bigger national matters, from the upcoming constitutional reviews to the state of the Southeast economy, and even the political calculations for 2027. Now, as I was saying, Nnamdi Kanu's statement that everybody is scared of Tinubu isn't just a random talk. It's a reflection of what's really happening in Nigeria's political space right now. You see, President Tinubu is known to be a master strategist, someone who understands the political game inside out. From Lagos to Abuja, he's built networks that have lasted for decades. So, when Kanu says people are scared, he's talking about that silent power, the kind that doesn't shout, but everybody feels it. But is it really fear or just political caution? Let's talk about that. Since Tinubu came into power, a lot of politicians have suddenly gone quiet, especially those who used to criticize government policies or speak strongly about issues like insecurity, human rights, and justice. These same people now post congratulatory messages, attend government events, or simply stay away from controversial topics. It's not new in Nigerian politics. When power shifts, people adjust quickly to survive. But in this particular case, Kanu seems to be saying it's more than just adjustment, that it's fear. And that's where the conversation becomes interesting. Because fear in politics can be powerful. It can silence people, shape narratives, and even determine who gets what appointment or favor. And when we look around, you might start to see what he means. Many of those who once spoke about Biafra or about fairness in the treatment of the Southeast have gone quiet. Even within the region, political leaders are trying not to offend Abuja. Everyone is playing safe. Now, to be fair, we also need to consider Tinubu's own side. The man has a lot on his plate: economy, fuel issues, insecurity, protests here and there. The last thing he probably wants is another loud agitation from the East. So, keeping Kanu's case in a kind of pending mode might be part of a strategy to maintain calm while focusing on national stability. But here's the truth: silence doesn't solve issues. The more people feel unheard, the more tension grows under the surface. And that's why this latest statement from Kanu might start another round of debates. Because when someone from detention still finds a way to shake the political table, it means there's unfinished business. If you're watching this right now, I really want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Do you agree with Nnamdi Kanu that people are scared of Tinubu? Or do you think Nigerians are just being more careful and strategic now? Drop your comments, let's discuss. And please, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this kind of balanced and fearless conversation. We break things down the way they are, no bias, just the truth and the gist behind the headlines. Now, another angle people are talking about online is how this might affect Tinubu's image among the Southeast people. You know, Tinubu has been trying to win over that region politically. He's been meeting traditional rulers, approving projects, and showing signs that he wants peace and inclusion. But this kind of statement from Kanu could stir emotions again, especially among those who already feel the federal government is being unfair to their region. You see, perception matters a lot in politics. Even if Tinubu is doing his best to improve things, as long as people feel there's injustice, they won't see his efforts clearly. That's the power of narratives, and Kanu's words carry emotional weight. Also, we can't ignore that this statement comes at a time when the Southeast economy is bleeding because of insecurity, sit-at-home orders, and declining business confidence. People want normalcy back. If there's any chance of peace, it will depend on dialogue, and dialogue can only happen if there's trust. So, one might argue that releasing Kanu, or at least handling his case more transparently, could help rebuild that trust. But the challenge is, how do you balance that with national security concerns? Because remember, IPOB was once declared a proscribed group. It's a complex issue, and there's no easy answer. But what's clear is that Kanu's voice still has influence, even from detention. The fact that people are reacting to his statement shows that his name still commands attention. Now, let's move to how Nigerians online are reacting. If you check social media right now, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, and even TikTok, you'll see people divided. Some are saying, "He's right. The fear in the land is real." Others are replying, "It's not fear, it's wisdom. People are tired of trouble." And then some say, Kanu should stop blaming others and focus on his case. So you can see, it's a mix of emotions, anger, fatigue, sympathy, and political caution. Nigerians always have opinions, and this one is no different. But here's my take: this issue shouldn't be seen as a battle between Kanu and Tinubu, or between the East and the rest of Nigeria. It should be seen as a mirror, showing how divided and tense our nation still is. We need to heal, we need justice, and we need honest dialogue. Because as long as one part of the country feels ignored or suppressed, peace will remain temporary. And again, before I continue, please hit the like button if you're still watching. It really helps this channel grow and reach more people who love intelligent, balanced discussions like this one. And if you've not subscribed, please do so right now so you don't miss our next breakdown on national issues.